Zelma was only 12 when she ate a biscuit that made her kill her whole family. The sun was going down in Ijegun town. It cast a soft orange light across the rooftops, and the streets were slowly emptying as school children returned home, their uniforms dusty from a long day. One of those children was Zelma. She was just 12 years old, bright-eyed, soft-spoken, and always quick to help her mother in the kitchen. In fact, people in the compound used to say, "Zelma is her mother's shadow." But all that changed the day she met Madame Ronke. That Thursday evening, Zelma was walking back from school, swinging her empty lunch flask, when she heard a familiar voice. "Zelma, come here, my dear." It was Madame Ronke, her mother's longtime friend. Or so everyone thought. She stood beside her car under the almond tree, holding a pink biscuit wrapper. "You've grown so big, my dear," she said sweetly. "Take this. You deserve it. And greet your mummy for me." Zelma blinked. "Thank you, Ma," she said, reaching for the biscuit. Just as she turned to go, Madame Ronke's smile twisted. "Go home and change your family," she whispered. Zelma paused. "Ma? Nothing, dear. Just enjoy your snack." Zelma walked home slowly, unwrapping the biscuit before she even reached the gate. It tasted odd, not sweet, not salty, just strange. But she was hungry and finished it anyway. That night, everything changed. Zelma lay on her mattress beside her mother in their small room. The windows were open, letting in the cool breeze, and her mother had just turned off the lantern. "Good night, my daughter," Mama Tina said softly. "Good night, Ma," Zelma whispered. But sleep did not come. Instead, the air grew colder, the room darker, and then she heard a voice. It was not her mother's. It came from nowhere and everywhere. "Zelma," she sat up, heart racing. "Zelma, you belong to us now. You have been chosen. We are the ones with red eyes. You will do what we say." "No," she whispered, trembling, but the voice was already inside her. It didn't care. "You will start with your mother's womb. Her child must not live. Her joy must turn to sorrow." The next morning, Zelma woke up different. She didn't greet her mother. She didn't touch her food. She simply stared. Mama Tina noticed. "Zelma, are you feeling sick?" Zelma nodded. Not because she was sick, but because something inside her had already begun to grow something dark, something that didn't belong to her. That evening, after school, the voice returned. "Tonight, she will be sleeping. When she sleeps, stretch your right hand toward her belly. Say nothing, just stretch. The child will go." And so it was. Mama Tina lay on her bed, her swollen belly rising and falling softly with each breath. Zelma stood at the door, watching. Then she walked forward quietly, like a shadow. She raised her hand and stretched it toward her mother's belly. Nothing happened at first, but then, a twitch, a groan, a soft cry. Mama Tina began to sweat. She turned and twisted. Zelma quickly ran out and walked back in with fake concern. "Mummy, are you okay?" Her mother was now groaning in pain. "The baby, something is wrong," she cried, clutching her stomach. Zelma pretended to cry. "Mummy, don't die!" But deep inside, she was laughing. That night, Mama Tina lost the pregnancy. Everyone thought it was stress, or nature, or age. No one suspected her daughter, not even for a second. Zelma sat in the corner, silent, obedient, watching, just like the voice told her. "Good," it whispered. "Now get ready. Your father is next." The sun came up with a strange silence in the Tolu household. Mama Tina still hadn't fully recovered from the miscarriage. Her eyes were swollen from crying. Her movements were slow. Yet, Zelma acted normal, helping to boil water, sweeping the front of the compound like nothing had happened. She even followed her father to the workshop that weekend. "Zelma, you want to stay with me at work today?" Pa Tolu asked, surprised. "Yes, Daddy," she smiled. He nodded, happy to have his daughter by his side. Pa Tolu was a respected mechanic in Ijegun. He had loyal customers who came from far places because they trusted his hands. But that day, everything went wrong. The first car he touched wouldn't start again. The next one started smoking. One customer shouted, "Ah, this man wants to kill me, oh!" Pa Tolu scratched his head, but I only tightened the battery head. Zelma sat quietly in a corner, sipping her malt, eyes glowing like glass. She was not blinking. She didn't say a word. The voice was speaking to her again. Touch the engine when he's not looking. Block his hand. Make him fail. Zelma did exactly that. Every car Pa Tolu touched that day developed new problems. Even the ones he had fixed before started coming back with complaints. By Monday, customers had stopped coming. By Wednesday, one angry customer called the police his brakes failed after repair, and he blamed Pa Tolu. And by Friday, Pa Tolu was arrested. Zelma was at home eating Puff Puff when Mama Tina got the news. She dropped the bowl of beans in her hand and screamed, "Jesus, what kind of attack is this?" Zelma stood from her chair, looking confused. "Mummy, what happened?" Your father has been taken to the police station for something he didn't do." Zelma blinked. "Will he come back?" "They said he must spend 2 months before court hearing." Zelma hugged her mother and cried fake tears again. But in her heart, she laughed. Later that night, as her mother wept in the sitting room, Zelma was in her room playing Ludo alone. "Well done," the voice said. "Next, your sister." The next morning, a knock came at the door. It was Tina, Zelma's elder sister, the one who had moved to Port Harcourt after getting a job with an oil company. She came in smiling, holding a big bag of groceries. "Mummy," I heard. "I came as soon as I could." Mama Tina hugged her tightly. "You're all I have now." Zelma watched them from the kitchen, eyes cold. "Not for long," she whispered. That night, she prepared to strike again. Tina's arrival brought a small breeze of hope back into the house. She cooked, cleaned, and helped her mother with the market list. Her laughter filled the sitting room, and even Mama Tina began to smile again. But Zelma was not smiling. She stared at her sister's joy like it was poison. "Your sister must go," the voice hissed. "She shines too brightly." Zelma nodded. The plan began on a quiet Saturday morning. Mama Tina was cooking yam porridge. Zelma was helping to set the table. Tina had gone inside to take her bath. "Zelma, I'm going to call your sister," Mama Tina said, wiping sweat from her forehead. As she turned her back to walk away, Zelma acted quickly. She opened one of the food covers, the one she saw her mother place for Tina, and brought out a small sachet hidden in her skirt pocket. It was powder, bitter brown. The voice had told her what to do. "Pour it! Stir it! Close it!" She did exactly that. The powder dissolved instantly in the stew. She stirred and covered it back. When her mother returned with Tina, everything looked untouched. "Come and eat, my daughters," Mama Tina said with joy. They sat at the table. Zelma folded her hands and bowed her head in fake prayer. Tina scooped her first bite, then another. Zelma watched, her spoon untouched. "Eat and die slowly, sister," she muttered in her mind. They chatted and ate, but 10 minutes later, Tina held her stomach. Mummy, did you use too much Maggi in this food? I feel funny." "No, I cooked it the same way I had always prepared it. You'll be fine." Tina smiled weakly and stood. "I'll just go lie down for a bit." She staggered toward her room, her steps uncertain. Zelma grinned behind her spoon. "Perfect." Hours passed. The sun began to fade. Mama Tina knocked on Tina's door. "Tina, you still sleeping?" No answer. She knocked again, louder. Still silence. "Tina, open the door." The door was locked. Panic rose. Mama Tina ran out and called the carpenter. The lock was broken within minutes. The door swung open. Tina was lying sideways on her bed, not breathing. Her eyes were closed. Her hands hung limp by her sides. Her body, already cold like river stone. "Tina!" Mama Tina's voice cracked the silence as she dropped to her knees, grabbing her daughter's lifeless body. "No! No! 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 My baby! Wake up!" She shook her, rubbed her chest, slapped her cheek softly, hoping for movement, but Tina was gone. And the scream that followed, it wasn't just loud, it was soul deep. The kind of cry that didn't come from the throat, but from a womb that knew what it birthed was now lost forever. Neighbors rushed in. Some tried to help, others just stood frozen, covering their mouths in shock. Zelma stood at the door, tears streaming down her face. She cried. Loudly, dramatically, but deep in her heart, she was dancing. Dancing because the sacrifice was accepted. Another mission completed. Another blood sealed, but the worst was still coming. That night, as the house grew quiet and Mama Tina's sobs faded into sleep, the whisper came again. "You've done well, Zelma," the voice said, slithering like smoke into her ear. "But your father is still alive." Zelma's eyes opened slowly in the dark. "And you know what to do." The house was quiet again, too quiet. Tina was gone. The compound mourned. Mama Tina stopped eating, stopped talking. Her husband was in prison. One daughter dead, one daughter remaining. But that one daughter was the cause of it all. Zelma sat on the veranda, peeling oranges while her mother wept inside. Her face looked innocent, but her heart was full of plans. The voice returned again that night. "Your father must go. Not just his work, his life." Zelma didn't argue. She had obeyed too many times now to question anything. That evening, she sneaked into her room and locked the door. She knelt on the bed, but not to pray. She closed her eyes and whispered something that was not a prayer. The wind outside howled. And then, her body began to change. Her fingers shrank. Her nose bent inward. Her back arched. Her skin folded into fur. Within minutes, Zelma had transformed into something else, a small black cat. The same kind of cat her father loved to feed by the backyard. The same cat that slept beside his slippers when he worked late. That night, the cat returned. Pa Tolu had just been released on bail, weak, thin, and heartbroken. He sat on the bench, tying his shoelace, when the cat walked toward him. "Oh, my small friend," he said, bending with a tired smile. The cat rubbed its body against his leg. Then suddenly, it bit him hard. "Yee! What's this?" Blood spilled. The bite was deep. Zelma, now a cat, ran back into her room and transformed back into herself. She sat on her bed and smiled. In the parlor, Mama Tina was wrapping her husband's wound with warm water and salt. "It's just a small bite," she said. "It doesn't look small." Pa Tolu winced, but they didn't know what had really bitten him. Days passed. The wound refused to heal. Instead, it grew darker, swelled, then began to stink. Even the neighbors noticed it. One said, "Go and see a herbalist." Another said, "That is not an ordinary bite-o." The hospital tried antibiotics. Nothing worked. The leg became heavy. Soon, Pa Tolu couldn't walk again. He lay on the floor all day, groaning in pain. Zelma acted like she was concerned. "Daddy, you'll be fine. Thank you, my daughter. That cat, I don't know why it bit me. Maybe it was hungry, but she was smiling inside." One night, the pain became unbearable. Pa Tolu could no longer talk. His eyes rolled back. His skin became cold. By morning, he was gone. Another soul claimed by the daughter who still sat under their roof. After Pa Tolu's burial, Mama Tina changed. She didn't cry out loud anymore. She didn't scream, but she didn't laugh either. She just existed. People whispered behind her back. 3 deaths in one family. She must be a witch. She should confess. But Mama Tina knew better. She had no power to fight what she didn't understand. So she turned to the only weapon she had left, prayer. Every midnight, she prayed. With cracked lips and teary eyes, she called on heaven. "Oh God, you are the one who gave, and you are the one who allowed it to be taken. My husband, gone. My Tina, gone. My unborn child. I never even saw his face gone, too. But I still kneel. I still call you Abba, because I know, when men are silent, you still speak. When the world forgets, you remember. So tonight, Jehovah, the God of the forgotten widow, the defender of the broken, the comforter of the faint-hearted, arise for me. Anyone that has touched my joy, anyone that has collected what is mine, let the ground reject their peace. My tears are not ordinary, they are fire. Let every shrine where my name was called begin to crumble. Let every wicked eye that watches my child Zelma go blind. Father, They have taken too much from me, but I will not let them take this one. From today, no weapons seen or unseen shall touch this baby. Let angels surround this house. Let fire cover my roof. Let the Spirit of God sit at my gate. And if the thief comes again, let the thief fall and never rise. Lord, comfort me. Give me strength to live again. Let me not die grieving. Let me not bury again. I will smile again. I will sing again. I will dance again. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. Zelma heard the prayers. She tossed and turned in bed every night. The voice that used to guide her had gone quiet. Instead, she felt heat, thick, choking, spiritual heat. Her sleep was no longer sweet. Her eyes no longer glowed. Her powers were growing weaker. One morning, she tried to lie. Mummy, I think your prayers are too loud at night. God already hears you. You can pray in the morning, too. Mama Tina looked at her softly. My child, night is when the devil works, so night is when I must pray. Zelma looked away. Her trick didn't work. Meanwhile, far across town, Madame Ronke, the woman who gave Zelma the biscuit, was suffering. She couldn't sleep. Strange spirits visited her dreams. Fire chased her in visions. She heard voices crying, "Confess, confess, confess!" She saw Tina's ghost. She saw Pa Tolu's leg swelling in her sleep. She knew. The prayers were reaching her. One night, after tossing and screaming until 3 a.m., she ran out of her house barefoot and entered the street like a mad woman. But she hadn't lost her mind, she had lost her peace. She reached Mama Tina's door and began banging it with both fists. "Mama Tina! Mama Tina!" she cried like a woman in labor. Inside, Mama Tina and Zelma were on the floor, praying softly. Startled, Mama Tina rushed to the door. When she opened it, Madame Ronke fell to her knees, gasping. "Mama Tina, I can't take it anymore. I can't sleep. I can't eat. Your face is chasing me in my dreams. Your husband's blood is calling my name. Tina's eyes are haunting me." "What are you saying?" Mama Tina whispered, backing away. Zelma stood, alert. Madame Ronke raised her head, trembling. I am the one who did it." Zelma's head turned. "What?" Mama Tina asked again. "I am a witch," Madame Ronke screamed. "I initiated your daughter. I gave her something to eat. I used her to destroy you. I was jealous of your peace." Mama Tina froze. Tears poured from Madame Ronke's face as she went on. "You remember when we were young?" she sobbed. "We were best friends. We shared everything. Everything. Except one thing." She looked up slowly. "That man, your husband, Daddy Tina, he was mine. I met him first. He was mine before you took him." Mama Tina's hand covered her mouth. "He used to come and talk to me. We planned the future. Until he saw you and everything changed. He chose you. You! He gave you the life I begged God for." Zelma was still standing there, frozen. Madame Ronke's voice became louder, angrier. "For years, I watched you enjoy what I never had. A husband, peace, children. You even had another one on the way. It was too much for me to watch." She pounded her chest. "So, I joined the coven. I let them use me. I gave them Tina. I used your daughter to break you. And still, you're here, praying." She broke into a sob. Mama Tina fell to the floor and cried from the depths of her belly. Her voice cracked. Her soul shook. "Zelma? My Zelma?" She looked at her daughter, who sat still, silent, ashamed. Zelma broke into tears. "Mummy, I don't remember anything. I heard voices. I didn't know it was me." "You were my sister," Mama Tina screamed. "You! Of all people! You slept in my house, you ate from my pot, we shared everything together." She staggered back, holding her chest. "You should have told me. You should have told me that he came for you first. How was I supposed to know?" Her tears fell like rain. "You never said anything. You even helped me plan the wedding." She gasped, choking on her own breath. "You were my maid of honor, Agnes. You stood beside me. And all this while you were planning to destroy me? How could you hate me that much?" For something I knew nothing about, Ronki falls to the floor, shaking. Her face is stained with tears, her voice trembling, crying loudly. I don't want to die. Please forgive me, please, my whole body is burning. The prayers had worked. The chains had broken. Madame Ronki left that night and never returned. The next day, they said she took her own life. From that moment, Mama Tina held Zelma tighter. She prayed with her daily. She anointed her head with oil before she steps out to do anything or go anywhere. And slowly, light returned to their home. Zelma never heard the voice again, but she never forgot what it once told her to do. Jealousy is a silent killer. It starts as a whisper in the heart, but if fed, it becomes a wildfire that burns everything. Friendships, families, even destinies. Ronki's bitterness began the day she stayed silent. She could have spoken. She could have healed, but she chose revenge over resolution. Never envy what was never yours. What belongs to you will never miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you. Mama Tina's story teaches us that evil can come wearing a friendly face, and sometimes the person you trust the most is the one holding the knife. But above all, no matter what is stolen, peace, family, or name God of justice never sleeps. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched you, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and follow for more powerful African stories. Until next time, stay safe and watch those closest to you. Sometimes, the enemy wears a smile.